So I bought some computer equipment on Craiglist. It's quite an interesting hodgepodge of stuff, so I thought that it might be worth covering here in a video. So let's get started. We'll begin with the least impressive stuff first. This is a Compaq 1725, or possibly an L1725, I'm not entirely sure. 17-inch LCD monitor. This is absolutely disgusting. In fact, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with this because it uses a funky proprietary AC adapter connection and it didn't come with it. The only redeeming qualities of this display are that it does supposedly rotate to portrait mode and that it's also kind of ergonomic. The stand allows it to go up and down in addition to just the standard tilting, and it also does swivel left and right. Can't really demonstrate it very well because I have it in this cardboard box to protect my home from the nastiness that this encompasses. Now, one thing I cannot really convey about this stuff through the video is the smell. To give you an idea, I'd say it smells about as bad as it looks. So there it is, the Compaq 1725 monitor. Oh, I almost forgot, the resolution is 1280 by 1024. And it would seem as though there is also some extra goodies here, including a USB hub and a headphone jack and microphone port. I don't know if those are like a USB sound card sort of thing that work off of the USB hub or what. The panel looks okay and intact. Doesn't look cracked. I'll look up the price of an AC adapter and see if this thing's worth looking into. If not, I'll probably just try to sell it as is for a few dollars. Next up, we have a piece of computer equipment that truly raises the bar for the definition of PC filth. This is quite possibly one of the most disgusting computer cases I have ever seen, and that's not taking into consideration the fact that the front panel and the side panel and half the screws are missing. Originally, I didn't think we had the I/O shield for this, but it actually turned up in a box of stuff, which I will cover here in a little bit. But we have some kind of raspberry flavored goop. I have not tasted it, nor do I intend to. And up here, I don't know, maybe someone let a chocolate bar melt on top of it or something. Not sure. On the back here, we have some ingenuity in the screwing things onto the case department. As you can see, the previous owner ran out of case screws, so he opted to use motherboard standoffs to secure the power supply to the case. There's nothing really to see on the back, but on the front here we can see, in addition to the missing faceplate that I mentioned earlier, we have a Mac Store brand 40 gigabyte SATA hard drive secured by at least one screw to the 3.5-inch DVD drive bay instead of putting it in the hard drive compartment where it belongs. The motherboard that's in here obviously is not original to the case. The case originally had probably a Dell Dimension or Inspiron or something low-end. The motherboard is an Asus something or another. I don't see a model number printed in large print on it, but it is an AM2 or AM2 Plus socket, and it just has I believe a single core Athlon 64 on it. Nothing too special. It does have an ATI Radeon X1600 Pro 512 megabyte of RAM video card in a PCI Express slot. It also appears to have 2 gigabytes of what is, I believe, DDR1 RAM. Forgive me for my lack of knowledge on the specs here. I didn't do a whole ton of research into this one. While that last case may have been quite possibly the embodiment of the word disgusting, here we have something that's unseasonably clean, given the general nature of par for cleanliness of things that were in this bundle of stuff. This one appears to have inside of it actually a almost stylish looking Foxconn 661 FX7MF-S socket 775 motherboard, equipped with a 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4 something or another, and an ELSA Gladiac NVIDIA GeForce 6600 GT AGP video card with 128 megabytes of visual RAM. I believe this one is also equipped with 2 gigabytes of DDR1 memory, but don't quote me on that. It comes fully stocked with a kind of purplish DVD-ROM drive out of probably the Dell computer that formerly occupied the aforementioned disgusting case. And it's not even hooked up, so I don't know if it just doesn't work or what. It also has a floppy drive, black in color, which is not hooked up, as well as a 7200 RPM Seagate Barracuda hard drive with a whopping 40 gigabytes of storage capacity. I believe there's also a 120 gigabyte something or another hard drive underneath there. And curiosity got the best of me. I had to yank this thing out of here. It does appear to have a Western Digital Caviar WD-1600 160 gigabyte hard drive. Now the difference between those last two computers and this one is that I know those other two computers, as filthy as they are, run. This one looks to be a little bit nicer than those two. It is a Dell Dimension 9200 model, and I do not know its working condition. This is another socket 775 computer, although I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, this is one of those backwards and upside down Dell BTX deals, which is fine because I do have the cooler and a Core 2 Duo for this socket over there. Unfortunately, there does appear to be a bent pin on the lower right corner there of the socket. I'm going to try to unbend that and see if we can get this one going again here, but I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to work. This one does appear to be pretty much stripped down. In addition to the lack of RAM and video card, there's also no power supply, no hard drive, no optical drives, no blanking plates. In fact, this whole whatever plastic thing was supposed to go here is gone. In case you haven't been able to tell already, the previous owner of this equipment was fairly disorganized, although I'm sure he had good intentions. I'll probably try to bend that pin back on that socket, put a processor in there, put RAM, video card, and power supply in here, and see if we can get anything out of this one. If I can, then that's great. I'll have a third computer that's working but missing a side panel and tons of other case pieces to work with. The only other thing that's really noteworthy about this machine is that it does appear to come with an extra PCI USB hub there. It has 4 ports facing the back of the case and 1 facing the interior. And last but not least, here we have the grab bag box of power supplies, video cards, and other assorted stuff. On the top here we have a Flextronics AC adapter. Not sure what that goes to. Probably just sell that as is. We've got some 0.5 gigabyte sticks of DDR1 RAM. We have another Diablo Tech 300 watt power supply. And then there's another Diablo Tech 300 watt power supply, and one of these is a 350 and one of them is just a 200 watt Dell branded power supply. Pardon the jump cut there. A piece of grass quite literally just fell out of this NVIDIA GeForce 8400 GS PCI Express video card here. It includes a VGA S-Video plus bonus, and DVI video outputs. Next in the pile we have a whimsical Foxconn GeForce 7900 GS video card. This one actually has two DVI interfaces as well as an S-video with bonus. This one actually appears to be nice enough to actually need the second power supply connector. Not exactly sure how much RAM is on this one. I believe it's just a 256 megabyte unit, however. Next we have a low profile 128 megabyte ATI Radeon X1300 video card. This one's fanless if I didn't mention that already. This one just has one DVI and one S-video with bonus outputs. Next up we have, if the handwritten label is to be believed, an ATI Radeon 3450. This has got 256 megabytes visual RAM, and it does appear to have some kind of funky proprietary connector, and also appears to be missing the bracket that's supposed to go on the end here. So, not sure how well that's going to work, but it is what it is, I guess. And next up, we appear to have another one of the same thing here. Maybe not. This one also has a handwritten label on it. It says Radeon 2400 Pro. It's labeled for $20. Also has that funky proprietary connector and the S-video with bonus. Connector is kind of offset, so I'm not sure if this is actually what this goes with. In fact, this bracket might actually go on the other card. Somebody might have just mistakenly put it on this one because the holes looked like they'd line up. And finally, we have what looks to be a somewhat nicer looking card. This is a NVIDIA GeForce 9600 GSO, as opposed to the GTO model. I believe this one is equipped with 0.5 gigabyte video memory. It also has a high-end fancy green DVI interface as well as an HDMI port. Not sure if this one supports audio output or not. In fact, I don't even know if any of these cards work at all. This could be possibly the same box of broken junk that keeps getting passed around Craiglist like a sexually transmitted disease or something. Not too much other interesting stuff in the box. We have what appears to be some kind of Celeron processor. I'm not sure. That looks like a socket 478 to me, but don't quote me on that. Not sure how fast it is or how nice it is, but as you can see, it does have its fair share of bent pins from being smushed in the bottom of this box of stuff. We also have, oh boy, we're getting to the good stuff now, a Buffalo UI 318 0526 5-volt 2600 milliamp AC adapter, no power cord, and the end appears to have been chopped off of it. I believe the last thing worth mentioning in this box is just a standard DVI to VGA connection adapter. And that was the stuff I bought on Craigslist today for $35. Was it worth it? Well, I guess we'll find out when we take a look to see how much of this stuff actually works, if I can get an AC adapter for that monitor, and if that silver Dell computer can be brought back to operational condition. At any rate, it should keep me busy enough for the foreseeable future. And some of the stuff here, once it is made presentable, if that is even possible, may go on to be the subject of a future video. And with that, I hope you found today's video entertaining and informative, and be sure to stay tuned to the all-new Channel 2012 for the latest in reviews, guides, food, computers, general around the house, and other high-quality, high-definition uploads. Thanks for watching.